Today on Profs Huddle, we take a look at how the Rowan baseball and softball teams are progressing through their seasons. We'll also chat in studio with rising lacrosse star Molly Green.
Rowan men's and women's track and field teams competed at the Temple Invitational. We'll take a look at how they did and talk with star sprinter Jameer Beasley. Profs Huddle starts right now. Welcome to Profs Huddle. I'm Will Anderson.
And I'm Jake Schmidt. The Rowan baseball team is off to a hot start with no shortage of high-caliber difference makers. Led by a trio of upperclassmen, the Profs are well positioned to defend their NJAC crown. Left-hander Eli Atiyah is the ace on the mound, sporting a 0.66 ERA and 5-0 record through his first 7 games of the year. Ryan Mastrangelli roams the outfield and is hitting a cool .317 on the season, including an active 10-game hitting streak. He also leads the Profs with 6 home runs. Manning the first base bag is Eric DiDomenico. The senior captain always puts up a battle at the plate, reaching base over half the time with a .505 on-base percentage. No doubt these are guys that this team relies on, as they have proven strong through the non-conference schedule to start the season. There has been plenty of firepower for the Profs, scoring 10-plus runs in a whopping 12 games this year, including a 21-run output against Keystone College. The pitching has not been far behind either, tossing 5 games of shutout ball and 11 games allowing 3 runs or fewer. This kind of complementary baseball is a recipe for success heading into the thick of NJAC play. Speaking of NJAC, Will has you covered on how Rowan has fared in conference.
As it currently stands, the Rowan baseball team is second in the NJAC rankings with 15 games remaining before tournament play. Rowan's 5-1 NJAC record and 18-5 record as a whole places them only behind Kane University in the standings. The two schools will go to battle on April 30th, wrapping up the regular season with a doubleheader that is certain to shape the NJAC landscape heading into the tournament. Rowan split their recent doubleheader with Montclair State and will face 4th place Stockton in a few weeks as the NJAC tournament approaches. As for softball, Rowan looks to maintain their winning ways after a stellar first half of the season. Rowan's softball team is currently at the top of the NJAC standings, riding an 11-game win streak to a 21-5 overall record. With a 6-0 record in the NJAC itself, Rowan is the only team undefeated against conference opponents. Special shoutouts have to go to freshman center fielder Mackenzie Melvin and her team leading 34 hits, senior left fielder Morgan Zane, who leads the team with 6 home runs, and senior pitcher Emily August, whose 84 strikeouts have helped her amass 10 wins thus far this season. Going further into the excellence of female athletes at Rowan, freshman Molly Green has already proven to be a key contributor to the high-scoring women's lacrosse team, scoring 15 goals in only 10 games. We're happy to have her here in studio with our own Ethan Hones.
Thanks, Will. Molly, welcome to Profs Huddle. Very happy to have you. So, like they said earlier, you've scored 15 goals in your first 10 games, and as a freshman, performance like that does not go unnoticed, and you have been nominated to the NJAC Rookie of the Week for the 4th time this season. So, how does it feel winning it so often? Like, it should be the Molly Green Award at this point.
It feels pretty good, but I mean, obviously, like, I wouldn't be able to have these opportunities without, my teammates creating goals and opportunities for me, and, playing such like a team version of lacrosse. It's been really great to have everyone involved in helping me in this.
So April 2nd, you had a nail-biter game against the Cabrini Cavaliers where they scored the last second to send it into overtime, and you guys won it. So what feelings and emotions were you guys going through trying to close out that game?
When they scored at the very end, I think all of our defenders just kind of stared at each other. We really didn't know what to do, but once we got in the huddle, there was no time to even think about what just happened. We kind of had to just move forward, and we were focusing on getting the next draw and then just closing it out.
So back in high school, you went to Clearview Regional, and you were nominated to the All-South Jersey second team while also being an all-star on that team. And now you are currently sitting in the NJAC 6th in caused turnovers, 7th in ground balls, and 10 in draw controls. So with such a big change in scenery and competition, and you're still playing at such a high level, How do you feel like with your impact you're making as a freshman?
It's been pretty good. I mean, in high school, I kind of played a little bit of a different role. I played with someone that scored over 100 goals last year, so I was not the goal scorer on that team, and it's been kind of great to have a more balanced game this year, especially.
Okay. So the team's coming off a bye week. You guys got the rest of the season coming up. So what are your personal goals? What's Molly trying to achieve this season?
Well, we just want to win as many conference games as we can. You know, we want to win the NJAC. And I just want to be able to just play my best and contribute in those games in order for us to win.
All right. Thank you so much for your time, Molly.
Thank you.
We're going to turn it back now to Will and Jake in the studio.
Thank you, Molly and Ethan. To the track we go, where Rowan traveled to the big city over the weekend, participating in the Temple Invitational in Philadelphia. For the men's team, the Profs showed out with a total of 17 podium finishes, including 8 first places. Sprinter Nana Agumeng had a big day, winning the 200-meter dash and placing second in the 100. He also led the way in a first-place effort for the 4x100-meter relay team. Rowan also took home victories in the 400, 400 hurdles, and 110-meter hurdles.
While not as dominant, the women's team still made their presence felt at the Temple Invitational, producing 4 podium finishes of their own. Freshman Molly Lodge placed third in the 200-meter dash with a time of 25.43 seconds, which was actually a faster time than her previous first-place performance. Pole vaulters Kate Appleby-Weinberg and Alasia Corsi placed first and second in their event respectively, with Weinberg's 2.9-meter vault being a personal best. Finally, the 4x100-meter relay team raced to a third-place finish.
For a further look into the success of the track team, our Joel Vargas met up with junior sprinter Jamir Beasley.
The Rowan men's track team found plenty of success this season. They've been particularly dominant in relay races where junior sprinter Jamir Beasley lends the winning ways to preparation.
With the 4x4, the exchanges are more visual, so I can really pay attention to my partner the whole time, and I really try to pay attention to, you know, how his strength is looking, whether he's still running strong through the end of the race or if he might be dying off a little bit will determine how fast I get out. In the 4x1, we gauge it with steps, and we use tapes that we put down across the track. So we look at the tape and we use it as a go mark to be able to know when we should react and when we should get going in the race.
Jamir's preparation doesn't end at practice, as he attributes his performance to mental preparation as well.
When it comes to meet day, my focus level, like I wake up and I'm just automatically locked in, just knowing exactly what I need to do. I'm in a stress management course right now, and we just started talking about meditating. So I've been trying to incorporate meditating into like my daily routine, whether it's before practice or before track meet. So it kind of helps me relax and really focus on the task at hand for the day.
Now an upperclassman, Jamir hopes to instill the things that make him proud to be a Rowan Prof into the next generation.
For me, I would say the winning standard, like just coming in, just knowing, you know, Rowan had a winning culture with the track and field team. So it was big in coming into that winning culture and just coming in and being a part and contributing right away. That was big. And we just try to preach it to incoming recruits, and every year, even people that have been on the team before, we just try to preach it every year and reiterate it. Like, you know, we have a winning culture. You know, you can see it's raining today. No matter what, you know, the climate's like, what the weather's like, we need to come out here and work whenever we get the opportunity to. So I would say that winning culture takes us and drives us a long way.
For the present and the future, the Rowan track and field team is in good hands with athletes like Jamir Beasley. For Profs Huddle, I'm Joel Vargas.
Thank you, Joel. Jamir and the gang will look to continue their stellar performances when they travel down to Alabama this Saturday for the Auburn Invitational. That's all for this edition of Profs Huddle. I'm Jake Schmitz.
And I'm Will Anderson. You stay classy, Glassboro.